Hey guys. So last week I worked on the workflows for the animals from with the bond, health, happiness, and the different stats of the animal. This week I worked on the actual values and how they're going to affect the animal on a daily or monthly type basis within the game, and actually also hourly. There's some stats. So I did this mainly in Google Sheets here. So on the left here, we have the actions or occurrences that would change the bond, health, and happiness of the animal, starting with you feed the animal and you get this many points for each stat. Pet, brush, collect produce. And these are the values I currently set. Over here, we have the different events that will occur. So this would be like a daily event. So, for example, if the animal is outside and it's sunny, they'll be gaining this amount per hour. Um, this actually should be probably minus one, minus one, minus one. Okay. Actually, I think I left it at that. Just have a small bonus. So if it's inside throughout the day, you'll have like a minor bonus if you don't let the animal out, or a minor decrease. If it the animals is outside and it's sunny, you're going to be getting this per hour. If it's cloudy, there'll be no change. But if it's indoors, then the animal will, you know, have negative values for the bond, health, and happiness. If you leave the animal outside, you're going to lose um, a more significant amount of each bond, health, and happiness per hour. And this is going to trigger on the new hour event as said here. And then this one is a little different than your typical like Harvest Moon or Stardew Valley, where I want to make it so you could have one active pet. Like for example, like World of Warcraft, you could have a hunter could have a pet that follows you around. This one, I want you to be able to actually, by default, have at least one active pet, and maybe have a perk to add an additional one, um, if unlocked. But for now, just one active pet, and while that animal is traveling with you, it'll gain this amount per hour. So if it's sunny and it's your active pet, you could be getting half a bond per hour, half point happiness per hour as well. Over here is a new day event. So if the animal is left outside or it's hungry or wasn't fed, it's going to get negative bond health and happiness. Once the new month event triggers, the animal will gain 1 month. So I'm going to do the instead of in years, it's going to be animal ages in months. So 30 days per month and 4 seasons. We're going to have spring, summer, winter, spring, summer, fall, winter. And over here, these are the stats that I want to add. So we have a name of the animal, age, the bond, the health, happiness, as I talked about. Is fed, so this will trigger end of the day. It will become false, and then if you feed him, become true. And then by the end of the day, there'll be a calculation determining if the animal was pet, if it was fed, if it was brushed, if it was collected from, if it was outside, and those will factor into the new day event and change the happiness and health and bond accordingly, depending on which bools were checked off. And then you have the hourly booleans, however you pronounce it. I'll call them bools. And then a few methods here: fed, pet, brushed, and then we won't go into these now, but these are the different movement type methods that the animal will have, from sleep, sit, run, walk, lay down. And depending on the animal's health and happiness and bond, that will kind of affect their speed and their um, behavior once I get more advanced in that. And then finally down here, every one of these metrics, as I showed in the workflow here, tie into what kind of produce quality. So it would be tier 1 through 6. So when you first buy the animal or tame it, it should have at least, let's say 50 to 100 bond, and it may be like 1 month, and then, or maybe close to 2 months, and then you just have to do a little bit of work to get it to produce the first tier of goods. So it might be like small egg or small milk or something like that, and then as the animal ages and you grow the bond with it, you'll be able to collect more high quality produce, which will in turn be able to be sold for more, and you can make greater potions or foods with it, and they'll have greater effects um, on consumption. Um, Over here, I'm definitely probably going to tweak it as once the testing phase occurs. But for now, it's going to be about if you just follow the basic requirements. Maybe you leave them outside by accident a few days. Maybe you don't feed it every day, but whatever the case may be, you might forget. On average, I would say it would take you probably 200 days to reach that tier 6 mark, which would be about a little over 2 years to get to that tier 6. So that's going to be difficult to get to. These are more achievable in the short term, tiers 1 through 3. However, if you're really into it and you have all the perks for um, animal taming and bonuses for taking care of the animals, you're going to be able to do it much more quickly. Like you could, if you always have your pet as you always feed them, you always have them as your active pet, you'll be able to increase that bond much more quickly with that particular one that you're favoring than the others that might just be kind of left alone and maybe fed and somewhat neglected at times. Obviously, you won't want to do that, but just based on my research of how players usually handle the average player usually handles this type of thing, unless you're completely 100% focused in it, you're probably going to follow this path. So the average player will eventually get there, but the player that's more active in taking care of them should be rewarded with more rapid progression. So those are my initial thoughts. Next week I want to actually add these to the game and the animal stats scripts. But for now, we're already at 7 minutes. So if you guys have any questions, let me know in the comments below. But that is all for now. Thank you for watching.